My friends, welcome to the podcast. This podcast is brought to you by ZipRecruiter.com. Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? You can post your job in one place, and that one place can get you to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn. That's a weird word. That's one of those things that I keep getting in the mail, like an invitation to join LinkedIn. Fuck you. And Twitter, all with a single click. But if I was looking for a job, I'd definitely do it. But I'm not looking for a job. But if you are, ZipRecruiter.com is your friend. You can find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. It is an outstanding resource to find the best candidate for a job. You just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. I've heard nothing but good things about ZipRecruiter from people that actually hire people. So it's why we went with them. So why we've got positive feedback so far. And if there's negative feedback, please let me know. All I've heard is good stuff. And when there's good stuff, that means good business over here. ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. Actually, don't let me know if you hear anything negative, because now I just invited trolls. Yeah. Those fuckers. Can't trust them. Right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/Rogan. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Rogan. ZipRecruiter.com/Rogan, and you can post jobs for free. It's an awesome resource to find excellent candidates for whatever job you're trying to get people for. We're also brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. I recently started using a regular razor on my head, Jamie. Want to know why? Because I got tired of the fucking electric razor. It makes stubble, and then I got to do it again in 5 days. But if I go all the way down with a regular razor, that motherfucker lasts 9 days. That's how lazy I am. If you're the type of person that has to shave every day for work, you know what a pain in the ass it is to go to the store and buy fucking razors. It's a pain in the dick. And you got to find that thing where you have to get the guy who works there to get the key to open that fucker up so you can get at the really good razors, because they don't want you breaking one open in the middle of the aisle and opening up a vein because your girlfriend broke up with you. You don't have to do that again. Don't do it again with JoinDollarShaveClub.com. You don't have to deal with any of that stupid shit. For a few bucks a month, DollarShaveClub.com delivers great razors right to your door, you freaks. Okay? Their plans start at just $3 a month. $3! Surely you can afford $3 for fucking fresh razors. Signing up takes 2 minutes. Then you sit back, and the blades arrive like clockwork. You don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to go, where's my fucking shit? I need to get, I forgot. It's there. Done. You can shave with a fresh blade every week. No membership fee, no commitment, and they have a money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose by trying them out. So stop fucking around and go and join DollarShaveClub.com/Rogan. That's DollarShaveClub.com/Rogan. And finally, last but not least, we are brought to you by Ting. Ting is the official cell phone provider of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. We use a Ting phone. We use the Samsung Galaxy S5, and I enjoy it very much. You know what? One thing that I love about it, I'm fucking really upset about these new Apple phones are not water resistant. Why, oh why, Apple, must you make me wait for the technology that exists already on the Android platform, you fucks? If you join Ting, if you port your phone over to Ting, 98% of people would save money with Ting. That is because they do mobile differently. Ting uses the Sprint backbone, so it's just like having a phone on the Sprint network. But they do it for far less money. It's the average bill, average person, is $21 a month. My bill last month was $18. You get access to the Sprint network, so it's not like you're on some rinky-dink cell phone network. It's a major league network. And you only pay for the cell phone coverage that you use. Like, say, if you have a plan somewhere else and that plan calls for you to use 100 minutes a month or whatever it is, if you use less than that, you don't get credit. If you use more than that, you have to pay overage fees, you have to pay extra. You don't have to do that with Ting. With Ting, you only pay for what you use. It is a novel and logical approach that I think all cell phone providers should adopt. Sprint is the backbone. Ting is the way. See what I'm saying, fuckers? And they have all the coolest, latest Android phones, including the HTC phones. They have flip phones if you're really into like old school. You can get one of them little Samsung flippy phones if you want to press buttons. They have a couple flip phones, actually. There's several options. And they also have iPhones. They have the last generation iPhones. They have iPhone 5s for sale. They have Galaxies, the Samsungs. They have like several generations too, which is kind of cool because a lot of people are like, I don't need the latest and greatest shit. If I can get like an Apple iPhone 4 for cheap money, you can get an iPhone 4S for $160. That's like nothing. You can get a 4, not the 4S, for $112. That's ridiculous. That's pretty cheap. You can get the newest, latest stuff from Samsung, like what I have, the Galaxy S5. And if you have these, use the code word Rogan or rogan.ting.com. Go to that website, rogan.ting.com, and you will save $25 off whatever you choose. It's an awesome cell phone service. It's highly recommended, and it is the official cell phone provider of this podcast. And without further ado, that's it, you fucks. We will go right to the show now. This podcast is brought to you by all those things. And who's on it?
Bryan Callen.
Bryan Callen. That's right. Bryan Callen. My brother from a different mother. So enjoy.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Hey, look, it's the kid.
Hey, guys, come on.
It's
Sure, I look
He's
young.
even got a shirt on that says the kid.
Whatever, dude.
In case you were wondering.
I got tight-fitting skin. It's not
I like
my
how
fault.
the fighter's in smaller font because he gets more letters. You guys based it on, like, what's an even trade.
Yeah.
Did you weigh the ink?
Yeah, we weighed the ink. We had to. We had to weigh the ink.
Because the fighter is nice and long, but the kid
Well, he designs
is
all
larger.
the T-shirts. I'm terrible with clothing. I'm not a big fashionista.
You might want to look into someone who actually makes T-shirts because that looks like a fucking junior high school kid did that shit
Hey,
with
man.
a paintbrush.
Yeah, well, that was the idea.
That looks like
Was
an
the idea-
art class that you didn't give a fuck about
I
passing.
think that's Karate Kid font, though.
That's
That
what I'm
might
talking
be why.
about.
Is it supposed to be like Kung Fu movie font?
Yeah, sure. I'm not part of the. I'm not part of
least creative.
I'm not part
I
of
love
the
both you
artistic
guys.
department.
I love both of you guys, but that is one of the least creative T-shirts I've ever seen. And I love that end thing. That
Fighter
the
and the
end, that the little fucking weird thing that stands for end. You know, what is that? What is
Where?
that thing called?
And sign?
What's is
Oh,
that an
the and
ampersand?
sign.
That's what I thought. Ampersand was an A, like a pound, like with the A that's circled.
No, that's
What is that? At. What is at? What is the actual
asterisk. No,
asterisk?
No,
No, asterisk is the star, right?
Yeah, it was.
Which one's ampersand?
I tried to make T-shirts for my.
Well, which one's ampersand?
I don't know.
Hold on, let's find out. Ampersand. Ampersand end. Yeah. Okay. Jamie's totally correct. So ampersand is that's the end, like fighter end.
Strudel.
Right.
A-N-D. It's a weird little symbol. It just looks
Do I have
odd
that on my
yours.
T-shirt?
Yes, you do. Obviously, right there, man. Fighter and the kid.
Fighter.
And then that thing over the
Oh,
T,
I
that
got
thing,
you.
you just look at it. You need glasses, bro.
I do not. Just because you need glasses, stop trying to get me in on your glasses bandwagon.
You could read shit better.
The at sign's actually called a strudel in Israel.
Okay, but we're not in Israel. What's it called in America? Just
it's
the at
just
sign?
an at sign.
Just an at sign?
At sign. A strudel.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that, like, didn't have any play for, like, hundreds of years.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this useless fucking thing
Stop
on
trying to
my
bring things back.
computer? You would look at, like, before Twitter and Facebook and all that shit like, in the name meant nothing.
Right.
You fucking never used that thing on the keyboard. On the typewriter, that was a useless goddamn key. Like, who the hell needs that and thing?
I know.
And you would ask, like, what is that? It's some shit you'll never use. Meanwhile, it's some shit everybody uses
Yeah.
now. Everybody's fucking Twitter handle. I don't know how many
Well,
Twitter people there
language
are.
changes.
Are you a pound sign or a hashtag person?
Well, you really should say pound sign. I
Right.
mean, why does it get to be hashtag? It's the same goddamn thing.
Yeah, I say
because it has a
pound.
different connotation. What was a pound sign's connotation?
It was just on your phone Remember? It
Well,
was
what did
pound
anybody
and
use it
star.
for?
It's
You
like-
would punctuate to send a a message or something.
Like a voicemail.
Yeah.
Press the pound sign.
Gang.
That's all. But they say the pound sign. But then all of a sudden, hashtag came along. Like,
Yeah.
what are you making corned beef? You slinging hash? What kind of hash is this?
Twitter
Is this
hash.
weed hash?
Hashtag.
Why would you call it hashtag?
Hashtag question mark.
With the origin, someone's going to send us a link on Twitter, I'm sure. The origins of the word hashtag.
Hashtag came from Twitter, right? Yeah, and then Facebook adopted it.
I was talking to this linguist. I was saying, why do like Southern accents, for example, in Mississippi, never go away? Why do like certain regions hold on to their accents? And he said most of it has to do with the fact that you copy the person who's older. The person you look up to, if he has an accent, that's the guy you're going to try to talk like. So it gets passed down from generation to generation and doesn't really get diluted.
Because they just stand out more?
Human beings are tribal. And so what they do is if you grew up around your dad or your older brother or somebody you look up to who speaks a certain way, without even realizing it, you start taking on their language. You speak exactly the way they do, same intonation and everything. And so what happens is that accent in Louisiana will always stay that accent in Louisiana. It's really interesting. But then that can start to sort of change as people migrate. You know?
What if a bunch of bad motherfuckers, bunch of badass, big dick South Africans came in and just fucked everybody in that town, dominated, came in with billions of dollars of cash? It would be interesting if there was a way where you could restructure an accent, just a few dominant alpha chimpanzee males
interesting, yeah.
with a strange accent.
Yeah.
Strange South African accent. Like if there was a way like some bad motherfuckers could move into an area and everybody would want to be like them so much they would start talking like South African.
If you go to Barcelona in Spain, they talk with a lisp. Barcelona, they do that.
Really?
And they say that is because the king had a lisp a long time ago. And everybody started to copy that sort of, that colloquialism or whatever the word is.
Well, it is kind of weird that lisp is considered to be odd. The one strange sound that you make,
Yeah.
but rolling the R's is
Yeah.
considered to be flamboyant and beautiful. Like if you say someone,
When you speak the Queen's English, of course.
but we have like categories where we'll put like this is a sound that you should make, and this is a sound where it's fucked up. I don't like it, and it's all based on our control. See, the issue with the lisp is some people cannot control the fact that they make that sound, so they're not trying to lisp.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for them to not lisp.
Yep.
But so because of that sound becomes inappropriate.
Yeah, maybe it's because when you have a lisp, it's already, quote unquote, a defect, so it's considered a weakness.
Yes.
So that would be something that is.
Well, it's just because you can't control it. That's why it's a weakness. If
Yeah.
he rolls his R's on purpose, then it sounds cool. He's Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
But if you roll your R's because you can't stop, like your
I
R's
thought that
are
was
slippery.
Conor McGregor, but keep
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
He's got a little bit of his own.
I like to whip. I
blood.
like to whip ass,
But that's
look
a
good.
different thing, an Irish thing.
That's right.
But yeah, the R's are slippery, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Roll. What if that was a disease? Instead of a lisp.
Right.
It's always got a rasp. Oh, the poor bastard.
Well,
he can't help it.
Speech impediment.
Stutters are neurological.
Stutters are?
Yeah, that's a neurological thing.
There was a kid that I used to be friends with, and his brother had a stutter. Poor bastard. He just would lock up, man. And he would lock up in front of you, and you'd want to help him through it.
Yes. And you have to act like nothing. Something about stutters endear me to the person. Like I want to protect them.
Yeah.
We had a guy in my Taekwondo school who would sometimes we'd line up and he'd have to say chariot kunye to bow, and he had such a bad stutter, so we'd all be sitting there and he'd go chariot, and we'd have to wait sometimes for 40 seconds.
Wow.
But of course we all did, and
Right.
something about a stutter has always made me feel protective over the person.
If you're stuttering all the time, should you be getting kicked in the head?
That's
Seems
a
like
good question.
you got shit going on there already. You
Yeah.
got some bad connections. Maybe you could rattle it loose. Like you hear about those stories where like a kid gets in a car accident and all of a sudden they can play music.
Yeah. Well, Robert Sachs did a thing about this guy who got struck by lightning. He's a regular dude. Got struck by lightning and became obsessed with music, especially the piano, and just literally did nothing but play 12 hours a day and think piano.
Wow.
And he was convinced it was a sign from God. So Robert Sachs said, well, it may be a sign from God, but is there any way I can study your brain? And he said, no. no, this is God, and I'm not interested in the scientific. And it was just such a bummer for him. It's like, what the fuck happened?
Right.
What happened that you got struck by lightning and you became obsessed with the piano, where he literally played all day?
I think he's probably scared that if he finds something that's wrong, that they might like fix it.
Well, it's
and he'd
really
go back to being normal.